his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
The United States is threatened by terrorists who will do anything to get into this country, including buying a visa, including bringing a dirty bomb. Right now, our visa processing is so utterly corrupt, so utterly ineffective. The president talks about building a wall. These are people who come into the United States with a legal visa, unbeknownst to Homeland Security, unbeknownst to the State Department, because of the identity. So what do we do about it? Well, I'm trying to publish a book, make a film, video to alert our Congress. I've talked to one congressman, I've talked to a staff of others. Does anybody care? Does anybody care that visas can be bought in Bangladesh for $85,000 to $90,000, the poorest country in the world? People are desperate. 165 million people squeezed into the state landmass the size of the state of Iowa with the water rising. They'll do anything to get a visa. $85,000 or $90,000, that's nothing. What about Iran? My first post was Tehran. I'm told it's $250,000 there. And visas are available now, as they have been, and it's been covered up by the State Department, by career diplomats, of which I was one, of consular officers, of which I was, of local staff. There are about 6 or 7, maybe 8,000 of them working in our embassies abroad who are uncleared security guards and cannot be prosecuted. If we discover that they're, the consuls general around the world say, these are trusted people. I want to say, you blankety blank idiot, you trust nobody. Everything has its price. The more difficult you make it to get a visa, the higher the street price. Let's talk about Russia. When I was consul general in Moscow, 78 to 80, I wanted to fire all the local employees. They didn't work for us. They worked for the KGB. When I was in Taiwan, I wanted to fire all 50 of the local employees. They didn't work for me. They worked for themselves. Either that, for the triads, either they were involved or scared to death for the safety of themselves and their families if they ever turned state's evidence. So the alpha and omega of the book I'm writing starts with Tehran, involving sex and money, Tashkent, Uzbekistan, involving sex and money, and rendition, where we paid the corrupt government of Islam Karimov hundreds of millions of dollars. And then he turned a blind eye to lining up Russian girls for our businessmen and for our consulates and for our diplomats. So those 3 posts, Tehran, Tashkent, and Taipei, all starting with T. That's going to be the focus, but I worked in 40 countries, so I have something in every country. Also, I'm inviting other officers, other people who have stories, to come to me, trhutson@gmail.com. Tell me your story, we'll include it. We've got to make these changes, and we've got to make them now. Thank you very much.